Welcome back to part 3. We are now ready. The engine is stable, ray tracing is under control. Streaming memory is safe, nothing will break when the world expands. Now we begin one of the biggest transitions in the entire open world pipeline, world partition. This episode is slow, deliberate, because everything we do here determines how the world is streamed later. No rush, no jumping ahead. We breathe, we convert calmly. Okay, let's get started by converting this map to a world partition map. To do so, there are several ways. One of them is from the Tools menu. We could use the Convert level. That could be useful for small maps, but for a very big map like this, that might not work. So the safest way to convert a map from the non-world partition to world partition is by selecting everything, copy them, and paste them into a world partition ready map. To do so, I'm selecting some things at the outliner and hit Ctrl+A button to select everything in the map. It might take a while, so bear with me please. And then from the edit menu, we could use copy. That also might take a while. While doing the process, we might get some of these messages that is telling subselected actor are not in the current level and will not be copied. So that's okay. We could hit the OK button for them. Very good. We are done with the copying, so now we just need to create a new map, use empty open world template and hit create. We don't need to save the map because we already just copied everything. And now we just need to go to edit and paste the content there. It might take a while as well. Very well, the content just pasted successfully, and now it's a good time to save this map. I'm going to create a new folder called levels at the root of the project, and let's call this map Beach City. Now the map saved successfully as well. Let's take a look at some of the settings that we have here. Just as you can see at the World Partition tab, now we have all the environment loaded for us. We can unload or load them later. And because we started from a template, some of the setting like enable streaming is already set for us as well. Or if we select some content in the map and take a look at the detail panel and streaming setting, you could see the is especially loaded is checked for them as well, which means they are participating in the world partition system. And let's get back to the world setting and take a look at the runtime setting there too. At the runtime setting, we have runtime partitions, and inside that we have index 1. The main partition is the name of the base world partition setting that we have, and under that we have main setting, which called main partition. One of the important thing here is the cell size and loading range. The default setting or the setting that comes from the template might be good for a small map, but for a big city like this number might be very low. To show you what's going on there, there is a debugging checkbox here that will show us the area that is going to load and unload. By checking the debug show grid preview checkbox, this color will be populated at the map, and if I take a look at it from a very top down view, you could see we are on top of one grid. The camera is on top of this grid. And based on the number that is set here, some more grid will be loaded as well. Let me reset this number to the default value and reactivate this checkbox again, this grid checkbox. So just as you can see, the cell size is right now 25,600, which means 256 meter. So the size of the main grid, the grid that the camera is currently at, this one, is 256, and the loading range is the same size. So we are getting one more of this grid on each direction loaded. So this amount is very limited for a city like this, and if we actually want to see a bit more of that distance, we need to increase the loading range. So for a city like this, the loading range 3 times higher than the cell size would be a good value. So I'm just multiplying that number by 3. And that way, just as you can see, the loading range distance multiplied by 3 times. So now we have 3 more grid at that direction or on each direction. So this amount would be a very good loading range for a city like this. So that way, we at each moment we are just loading up to there. Good, let's turn off the debug view color and run the game, or just to make sure we can unload everything from the World Partition tab. And as long as we unload everything, everything is out of the memory. I just wanted to select this part of the World Partition minimap where the camera is and just load that bit. So this way we could be able to manage how much of the contents are going to be loaded in the RAM or unloaded from the RAM. And let's run the game and compare the FPS with what we had before. Let's bring up stat FPS. Nice. As you can see, right now the FPS is nearly 60, which roughly double of the amount that we had at the beginning of this chapter. As we move forward, the new content will load in front of us and unnecessary content will be unloaded from the background. Word partition is gatekeeper to scalability. Without it, edge slots can't activate efficiently, PLA actor have no distance streaming behavior, footage remain brute force, traversal become stutter heavily, GPU work is permanent instead of dynamic, and with it, intelligently, far distance costs disappear, open world become possible, FPS curve stabilize, slot will later explode the performance upward. Thanks for watching so far. See you in the next chapter.